Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Close Show. As always, Scott Carson. Excited to be here with you today, and we've got a very special guest that I think everybody out there listening right now in the commercial or non-performing note space, whether it's commercial, residential, but a lot of folks ask me about the commercial stuff, and we've got an amazing guy on here today who is going to share about an amazing event taking place up in Dallas. Big D, and it's something that actually is taking place across the country. I don't want to take any of his thunder
Ha!
because I'm really excited to have him on here. And who is he? He's the CEO of RE Journals and Red News and Midwest and Texas commercial media company that provides commercial real estate professionals with localized commercial real estate news and information. And him and his companies host over 150 localized commercial real estate events across the Midwest and in Texas. So keep that in mind, listeners, not just here in Texas, but also stuff across the country. Who am I talking about? We're talking about the CEO, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jeff Johnson. Join us on here. Jeff, how you doing today, bud?
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for having me on, Scott. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Now, before we get into talking about the event, well, you and I were chatting before, and I was like, man, I should have recorded that because we were talking some good stuff. So, talk about what you guys are doing there with your media company and how you're really taking the scariness out of, I think, commercial real estate.
Right, right. Yeah, good question, Scott, to start out with. So RE Journals is a commercial real estate media company. We publish commercial real estate news. All of it is localized commercial real estate news. So we look at, Scott, folks, whether you're in where you live, Scott, in Austin, Texas, or whereas I live in Minnesota, most deals and transactions and things are done on a localized level. So when we started this company a long time ago, actually one of our oldest publications is a 79-year-old commercial real estate trade publication in Ohio. We looked at commercial real estate news as being a localized business, not necessarily a big national business, right?
Yep.
There might be large institutions or investment firms or whatever that own that commercial real estate, but probably 99% of those decisions based on those properties are made at a local level, whether those are leasing decisions, whether they're tenant improvement decisions, whether they're construction or development decisions, whatever it might be, is those decisions are made locally. So our goal as a company and as an organization is to provide individuals, people that are either in commercial real estate already or thinking about getting in commercial real estate, a space that they could find local commercial real estate information about the market that they're most interested in, or most importantly, the market that they live in and is in their backyard, and how to engage people in those specific markets.
I totally agree with it because whenever you're looking at commercial stuff, it really does come down to location, 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 and what's going on in those specific markets versus having a nationwide. We all have heard about the downfall of office space across the country, but we always know it's different on a city by city basis, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So whether you're up in, Fargo, North Dakota, which is just, just kind of hums along and they don't have any big peaks and valleys, or,
Right.
some other markets have big peaks and valleys and stuff with commercial real estate. So every market is very unique and different, and every market has its own little kind of ecosystem and community, right? People within that local commercial real estate community are probably pretty well connected, whether you're an owner, an investor, or a developer or a broker. You're probably trying to stay connected with folks within that local market that you work in. And obviously, some companies they're doing business in multiple markets around the country, and maybe they have an office in Dallas, maybe they have an office in Houston and one in Austin and one in Chicago, and they probably have local people in those individual markets that understand that local market.
Yeah, that's definitely, you have to have that local relationship when you're looking at things. Not only does it open up to more opportunities,
Yep.
because things, aren't always going to be listed on LoopNet or the
Right.
MLS or stuff like that. You really do get some of that pocket stuff, but you understand what's really going on with either the tenants, the owners, or
Yep.
the the path of progress in a lot of cases of what's going on in specific markets too, right, Jeff?
Yep, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I think you made a great point. If you're connected with folks within your local community, you can see deals before they go public, right? Or before they go out to the market, and it's about building those relationships and those trusted relationships with those, whether they're investment sales brokers or certain developers that are willing to share with you information about their offerings or opportunities that they might have or listings that they might have before they're showing them to other folks and stuff like that.
Totally true. And being in the distressed note side like I am, we often will see a lot of stuff on the distressed paper, 6 to 12 months before the general public sees. Now, here in Texas, we all
Yeah,
know that things move a little bit faster here
right,
than they
right.
do in other areas, but it's still a great opportunity to look at that stuff and then actually build relationships with talking with people, or whether it's financing or the developers or the commercial asset managers, to
Yep,
see what's really going on with that asset in that market. Now, you do quite a few events a year. Is it
yes,
100, over 150 events across the country?
yep.
Is that all on the commercial real estate side, or is it segmented into smaller niches like industrial or office or stuff
Yep.
like that? How does that kind of
Yeah,
work
yeah,
out?
good question. So every market's different. Some markets we host a lot of events in, some other markets we might only host two or three events a year in, right? So if we're in Omaha, Nebraska, we might only do one or two events a year in Omaha versus a Chicago, we might do 20 events a year in a
Right.
Chicago. And then we kind of segment our events into different categories, right? Like you said, different verticals. You know, we might do an industrial real estate event in the month of June, and maybe in the month of August we do an office event, and then maybe in the month of November there's a multifamily event. Are the same type of folks going to those individual events? Probably not. Maybe there's some of them that do all the above, but we see at these events that it's different types of people that are attending the events that are more relevant to their business and what they're trying to do and what they're trying to learn. And one of the things I always ask people, I'm like, so why do you come to our events and stuff like that? What gets you away from the office to come to our events? Well, besides coming for some eggs and bacon and hash browns, it's they're coming there for networking, right?
Yeah.
You're coming there to learn about maybe a deal that they saw, they took a look at, and they passed on, and they don't know how this other person did this deal, right? They want to learn about how other people are evaluating the market today, what they're thinking before they make an investment decision to help them make future investment decisions, right? And then obviously one of the things we do for a lot of our attendees is we offer continuing education credits. So if you have a real estate license, which a vast majority of commercial real estate folks have as a real estate license, so they need some continuing ed. Maybe if you're a developer, you don't need to have a real estate license or an owner. But if you're a broker, if you're leasing space, or if you're selling buildings, you're required by that state that you live in to have a real estate license. And one of the things you need to do is get continuing education credit hours a year. I always say it's ballpark on average. Every state's a little different, but it's about 15 hours of real estate continuing education credits a year. Some states require special, what they call, continuing education credit, different types of continuing education credits. But most states say that, hey, you can just get 15 hours of general elective continuing education credits, and that counts. So most of the people I talk to come to the events that want the continuing ed. They're like, well, we can't really find anything online that's of interest to us. It's usually
Right.
about somebody buying and selling houses, and we're not interested in that. And if we're doing an event on industrial real estate, that makes more sense for us to go to that event and pick up 3 or 4 hours of credits than going online and doing some online CE course. And then, oh, by the way, we get the added value of meeting and networking with new people. And the whole goal is, I'm like, you want to be at the event to hopefully you shake some new hands so you can act transactions and deals with them in the future.
Yeah, such a great point. And to having a local event like something in Dallas in a
Yeah,
big metroplex, it brings in a lot of people from across the state. It's also uh, easier, I think, to get in there, shake the hands of true networking versus worrying about flying out to
yeah.
Vegas or something like that, like we were talking about, right?
Exactly, exactly. It's the easy button, right? I mean, going to Vegas is awesome. Everybody loves to go to Vegas and have a good time. But versus spending thousands of dollars going out to Vegas, maybe you can come to one of our events and get pretty much the same type of content and information, and maybe you can meet some new people that you can do deals with.
Exactly. And the event that I'm talking about, that we're discussing, is taking place here in Dallas,
Yes,
is the DFW Capital Market Summit, scheduled for September 25th. So it's actually 3 weeks from today, taking place at the Sheraton Dallas Hotel by the Galleria there off the LBJ Highway. And this is a 3 to 4 hour event there for you guys. That's opportunities for you to come out and connect with some of the really great speakers. That's part of the reason when I saw the speaker lineup and who was coming, I was like, I reached out immediately to you guys. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You want time to talk about what's going on at the event?
yeah. Do you want to click on the button at the top that says panels?
Yes, I will do that. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, and if you kind of scroll down, so what we're doing at this event, it's a 3 hour deal from 1:30 to 4:30 on September 25th in the Galleria area, just north of downtown Dallas. So we're doing kind of three specific panels at this event. We're doing a kind of giving everybody kind of an update on what's going on with the capital markets. You know, with reference to commercial real estate and how it impacts commercial real estate transactions. Just kind of an overview of financing trends and whatever it might be. Then we're doing our second panel where we put together a group of actually funds and organizations that are actually buying commercial real estate and making acquisitions, or maybe there's a CEO of a publicly traded REIT or a privately traded REIT that's going to be speaking at the event, as well as Jeff Staubach from Starbucks Companies. That's Roger Staubach's son, as well as a
Yep.
few others on that panel as well too. And then we're kind of ending. Our last panel is going to be really getting insights from some of the top investment brokers in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, talking about trends, cap rates, what deals are trading at, what deals are hot, what deals are not, what parts of the market are hot, what are not, and where they see the opportunities for investors in the Dallas-Fort Worth market.
Yeah, I think I saw those three panels. I was like, those are definitely three panels I want to be. And they're not, and they're not 20-minute panels, which often happen a lot of the other places. These are hour-long panels, and then also the availability for upfront and back-end networking too. I think it's just as valuable too for folks out there. Right, Jeff?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, I know Todd Phelps. Todd is a phenomenal speaker on the second panel there. Got a great couple books about starting funds and stuff like that. One of the great tax attorneys I call out there, whether you're
Yeah,
investing in residential or commercial stuff, and just a phenomenal speaker. Jeff Staubach, yes, you said the son of Roger Staubach. I'm a huge fan, so pretty excited about that aspect of things. And just literally the trends and what's going on in the specific market, having a panel of five people who have their fingers on the pulse of the DFW greater market is so important, especially in these days with everything going on, and as we come into
yeah,
the start of the fourth quarter and what's going to happen, different trends and things like that out there. Um,
yeah.
Now, here's the thing: this is not $1,000 ticket. You make this very affordable. Can you talk about the price and what's included with that?
Yeah, yeah. So the price to attend is $119 or $118, whatever it is, plus or minus a dollar. And what you get with attending, obviously, if you have a real estate license, you're going to walk away with 3 hours of real estate continuing education credits. That's if you have a real estate license in the state of Texas. Right. So if you are a TREC real estate license holder, you get those 3 credit hours. Obviously, we're going to have some food and beverages and stuff for you live at the event. great hotel, easy access, easy in, easy out. We've done some other events at this location.
Yeah, great hotel.
It's a wonderful location. Like I said, just north of downtown in the Galleria area. And obviously some wonderful networking. And the goal is hopefully, if you choose to attend, that you can walk away with building some new relationships, or maybe learning something new about the market that you don't already know. And that's what we hope, that you would get value with being an attendee at an event like this.
Now, how many? I know it varies event by event, but the
Yeah.
question always comes of how many people are you expecting? How many attendees are you think will be there at the
Yeah,
event?
we're anticipating 150 to 200 attendees at this event.
Nice.
And
Okay.
once again, and all of our events, one of the things, Scott, is all of our events, it's kind of seems like, because these are localized events, most people kind of sign up about a week or so before the event.
Sure.
So, but we're kind of used to that, right?
Yep.
And kind of navigating that and managing that. So we're able to manage those expectations, knowing that, hey, if we're at, 150 a week before the event, we kind of can guesstimate how many people and stuff are going to be at the event, type of thing.
Yeah, that totally makes it, when you ain't got to travel and worry about airfare or hotel
Yeah,
rooms. It does make sense for people sign up the week of to figure it out. But the great thing, this is after Labor Day. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
this is on a Thursday, right? So it's not
yep.
Friday for the
Thursday
weekend.
afternoon, yes.
Perfect. So it's a great time to be there, network with 200 people. Now, a question for you. What other events are you also doing in Texas? Do you have a schedule where people can see what else is going on if they're invested in multiple cities and stuff like that too, Jeff?
Yeah, exactly. So you can definitely go to our website, which is rejournals.com, right? And you can see some of the events that we have coming up. So typically, Scott, what we don't do is we don't publish any events that are further out than about 90 days out. What we
Makes sense.
found out is nobody registers for a localized event, outside of 90 days.
Yep.
And no matter how much work we do to try to convince them to do it, they just don't do it. So
Right.
we really don't start to market on an event until about 60 days before the event. Because as I mentioned before, most people are signing up about a week or so before the event. So
Right.
as you can see, we're doing events. We just hosted one in Columbus, end of July, but we just hosted an event today in Nashville. Next week, we're doing in Minnesota, a cannabis and commercial real estate event. It's kind of crazy. Click on that event once. I just wanted to show you. So obviously, with the legalization of cannabis, all these folks within the commercial real estate sector are trying to navigate the ins and outs of, well, what does it mean to now own a building where there might be a cannabis store? So click on the panels just for what, just for
Sure.
curiosity.
Yeah, yeah.
What does it mean? How do I operate my building, and how do I develop these cannabis distribution centers? Because it's now coming across in a lot of different states around the country, and it's not going anywhere. So we've
Yeah.
kind of put together a couple really fun and unique panels about everything from developing and building construction cannabis facilities. How do you get those financed? Because you have to finance them differently, because
Yeah.
it's non-traditional bank financing, right? And how do you operate these buildings and facilities? And how do you keep these facilities safe and secure? And how do you keep your other tenants safe and secure? And what type of compliance do you have to go by as well, too, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting a list of some cannabis properties here from a bank we spoke with last week, actually, about looking to sell some of the debt off. One was up in Minnesota, so it's interesting. I may have to jump on a plane next week and fly up there, take a
Yeah,
look.
it should be. Yeah, I mean, should be an interesting event. We did it. We did one last year.
Yeah,
Was our first kind of big cannabis event. I got convinced to do this, or a couple years ago, excuse me, 2 years ago, and I got convinced to do this through a really long time friend of mine. And I'm like, all right, I'll take a run at it. We'll see what happens. And lo and behold, like 250 people showed up. I was like, this is insane. This is crazy. So we have a couple events coming up in Dallas. So if any,
Yep.
for those folks that are in Dallas, so click on the net lease event. So once a year, our company does a big national net lease event in Chicago. We get about 250 people every year. Kind of the top net lease owners, uh, developers, brokers, investors, and stuff kind of come together for a full day event. This event kind of came out from this event that we host every July in Chicago. A couple organizations wanted us to do this event in Chicago, and we put together an all-star lineup. If you click on the panels
Yep.
button again, the individuals and stuff that are going to be involved with this event are some of the biggest names in the net lease 1031 exchange business around the state of Texas, and we're actually have some folks coming in even from outside of Texas that are going to be involved with this event. So a really, really, really solid event. So this will be the morning of the 25th from 8 until noon, or 8 until 8:30 until noon, and
Yep.
then an hour and a half later is when we start that capital markets conference in Dallas, at the exact same location. So if you're intrigued by the net lease industry, what's going on in that space, this would be an awesome event for you to attend as well too.
Yeah, exactly. It's still very affordable. Two events there for you at the same spot there. One in the morning on the net lease, and then the capital markets in the afternoon. That makes a lot of sense there.
Yes.
Making it easy there for you. All right, awesome. Good stuff there. And I love, like I wanted to put out here, if you look at the stuff here, guys, there's stuff going on. Because we've got folks in St. Louis, we've got folks in Madison, all across the country
Yeah.
as well. Nashville definitely a big one, and you've got a couple other tabs here with some of the different future ones that are going on. So senior housing is a big one. Detroit again, Chicagoland, Minneapolis, St. Cloud, Houston construction. That's going to be a good one there in the Houston market.
Yeah.
Also, Austin Industrial Summit. There we go here
Yeah.
locally.
Yeah. And then we're doing, and then if that we're just starting to put together this Austin industrial event and this Austin multifamily event. So, folks within your backyard there, Scott,
Yep.
can easily just, drive on over, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
exactly. I'll mark my calendar now right where it's at. But that
Yeah.
also it should be bringing a lot of folks in from the Houston, San Antonio markets and the Dallas markets for these as well on the multifamily side, which is great. Good stuff there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
this is
Excellent.
this is awesome, Jeff. I love what you're doing, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Where with you hosting these events, where do you, and we all know it's a little bit different, but where do you see some of the different sectors of commercial real estate going? Are we seeing obviously, I think cannabis is having a
Yeah.
revigoration, but I also think multifamily, especially here in Texas, multifamily is kind of taking a big hit here with so
Yep.
much overgrowth or overbuilt. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, and once again, it gets down to every market,
Yeah.
right? Every market's a little different, right? Some markets, maybe the multifamily sector is doing fine because it wasn't overbuilt, right?
Right.
And then you get into other markets where like it was overbuilt. And it's really, it's kind of hurting everybody. So I see there's really good, you know, upside and stuff, I think, in all commercial real estate markets, whether industrial real estate. I know office has been really hard hit since the start of the pandemic, but I'm hearing some really positive stories from people about the office market and stuff moving forward. Retail took a hit a number of
Yep.
years ago, but I'm starting to hear some really positive things about retail as well too,
Yep.
and owners and developers being innovative in when they're developing new retail facilities, right?
Yep.
As one of the phrases is thinking about retail not only just as a store, but retail as a destination or as an experience, right?
Yep.
Retail and experience, so people will come into their store to go shopping or whatever it might be, right? Like the Dick's Sporting Goods are, and Shields, like another massive, sporting goods store. They're building these like crazy, like almost like amusement parks inside the
Yeah.
stores and stuff like that to bring people there, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
having the batting cages and the golf simulation
yeah.
there at the Dick's makes it I know you know wife goes off to Michael's. I'm going into Dick's. I'll be in Dick's for a couple hours there for you while you go do whatever you want, honey.
Yeah, yeah, they're giving people that experience and stuff.
Yep.
Look at the success of Top Golf, right? They're
Yep.
giving people an experience to go out and have fun and go hit golf balls, and and they've done very, very well, and they're in pretty much every major market across the country as far as I know.
Exactly. I wanted to bring this up too for folks so they can stay alert of what's going on too. You guys have several publications you've got available for folks out there that are a little bit more location based, like the Minnesota RE Journal, the Illinois Real Estate Journal, Midwest Real Estate News, the Chicago Industrial Properties, the Texas Red News, which is good there for you, and then of course the Midwest News here,
Yeah,
Commercial Hall of Fame, and the
and,
Best of the Best, which are
and
great.
then keep kind of scrolling down here. So we have and this is our oldest product, Properties Magazine, and it services the Northeast Ohio region, kind of that whole Cleveland
Hmm.
area. And this publication has been around the market for 79 years. It's just a part of that local commercial real estate, construction, architectural, brokerage community and stuff. So if you live in Austin, Scott, where you live, maybe you care about Cleveland, maybe you don't, but if you're in that Ohio region or if you're doing business there, this would be a good resource for you to sign up to. And all of our publications, you can sign up online to get them for free. We email digital copies out to you, and you can easily print them off and stuff at your own, from your, home computer or your office computer.
Yeah, I love it because we do buy a lot in the Buckeye State and Ohio and stuff like that. And our network is usually buying in multiple states. So that's why I wanted to make
Yeah,
sure and highlight the different publications for folks out there to keep track of.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And then
really looking,
if you
go
just
ahead.
go to our homepage, just click on the RE Journals tab right at the top. That'll bring you to the homepage, and this will just show you kind of this is just so then what you can do on the homepage. So if there's specific markets that you're interested in, so if you go to the top, you can pick your market that you're most interested in, right? What state you're most interested in. You can do by
Nice.
sector, right? And then it will find news and information that we've published in one of our trade publications or online with some local commercial real estate stories that you might be interested in reading.
Very nice. This
So,
one in
so
Aransas
feel,
County.
so, yeah, so
This is
feel
down where I
free
grew
to,
up,
yeah,
actually down in Coconut Cove. I know this area very intimately. It's funny.
yes. So feel free to check out it's free to go to the website. It's free to access all the articles, rejournals.com. We get, over 150,000 views every month on this website for people checking out localized commercial real estate news and information.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure and share those links to not only the upcoming event, but also to the newsletter and stuff like that there for everybody to take advantage of and get subscribed to. Jeff, this has been great. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you here. It's hard to believe 3 weeks are going to fly by pretty fast, huh, man?
Yes. I know. I know. Yeah. Don't remind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be coming down from
Yes.
Minnesota for the event?
Yes. Yes. I'll be down for both the net lease event and that capital markets event, which is obviously on the same day.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. We'll put the link there. Guys, go get signed out. Mark your calendar, September 25th. 3 weeks from today, as we're recording this, is going on a Friday. So it's going to be 20 days versus 21 days where it's at there for you. Best way for folks to connect with the Jeff Volley is just go to rejournals.com or the event website for you.
Yes, that works. Just, yep, hit rejournals.com and you can easily connect with me there.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know we worked to get this squeezed in and looking forward to seeing you there in Dallas in just a couple weeks.
All right, excellent. Appreciate your time, Scott.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, everybody. Hey, take the opportunity. Get signed up. Great opportunity for you to go rub some elbows, make some connections, network with some local folks there in the market. If Dallas is not one of those markets, hey, there's other events there for you on that calendar to take advantage of, because I know you guys are investing in those states, because I know I am. And those are some of our better states to invest in. So go out, take some action, and we'll see you in DFW here in 3 weeks, everybody.